This is KGW News at Sunrise.
There definitely was some exploding canisters.
Yeah, those exploding canisters caused a 12-hour shutdown of one of the busiest stretches of I-5 in the entire state. The northbound lanes of the freeway in North Portland are back open this morning. We're going to have a live look for you at where that fire happened coming up here in our top story.
And this is a live look outside Providence, St. Vincent in southwest Portland. It is one of the hospital's thousands of nurses are protesting this morning. Coming up, our Devin Haskins breaks down why negotiations fell through.
By the way, this is also Balloon Week in Tigard. Oh, we're talking hot air balloons. The annual Festival of Balloons in Tigard takes off on Friday. It flies through Sunday. We're going to navigate you through a preview a little bit later this half hour. I went to hang on, was that Jerry of Tom and Jerry fame like there, flying through the sky?
Yeah.
Lots of cool balloons to be seen. We're going to be out there live on Friday morning, as a matter of fact. But man, Friday seems a little far away at this point. We still have to get through Wednesday.
Should be a nice Friday. I've done that live shot at Cook Park, where it's
Mm-hmm.
flipping chilly as all get out. But Friday morning should be pretty nice.
Oh, that's
good. Here's a look at right now. It is clear across our state. Here's Cannon Beach. All the cameras are just fabulously gorgeous. Here's downtown Portland from the Pioneer Park building, and the sun bouncing off of the downtown cityscape. We're at 54. Now, a lot of you are in the 40s again this morning. The warm-up will be noticeable. Yesterday, 74 was the high. I think we could be 74 at noon today. And then, of course, we keep going up from there. Forecast high, 86 degrees. Final full day of spring. Here's Chris.
All right, Rod, photojournalist Chad Dehart's man in the wheel here of Drive 80's heading southbound on I-205 out of Clark County. And we're in pretty good shape on that side of town. Lots of elbow room there. Of course, the big story yesterday was the 12-hour closure of northbound I-5. You can see here the repairs have been done. I-5 is rolling along just fine both directions near Swan Island this morning. And a quick check of the sunset. That looks good as well. A reminder, by the way, for anybody that needs to get to the airport tonight, and if you use the MAX Red Line, know that TriMet is continuing to test their new MAX trains on the Red Line between PDX and Gateway. So that means tonight and the next couple nights they'll be using shuttle buses from 7:30 through the end of service to make those stops while they test the new trains. Guys.
All right, we'll have more from Rod and Chris coming up here later in our 6 o'clock half hour. But right now, our top story. Thousands of local nurses from 6 Providence hospitals are back on the picket lines today.
Their 3-day strike started yesterday morning, and our Devin Haskins is live outside Providence, St. Vincent in southwest Portland, where nurses are just showing up right now to start their picketing. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning. You can see across the street right there. You got a couple of nurses here showing up on the picket lines, getting ready for this morning. Here right next to me, you have a couple of bags full of the signs that as the nurses continue to show up, they will come and grab. This strike lasting from about 6 a.m. today runs through about 8 p.m. each of the 3 days that the nurses are on strike. The Oregon Nurses Association is the union representing more than the 3,000 nurses at 6 Oregon hospitals. Those hospitals are in Portland, Newburgh, Milwaukee, Oregon City, Hood River, and Medford. The nurses say they want safe staffing levels. They want a better nurse-to-patient ratio. They want better health benefits that are more in line with other area hospitals and competitive wages. And on the wage front, Providence has said that they've offered a double-digit raise over the life of the contract. And as nurses stand outside, business as usual happens on the inside as the hospital remains open. Providence brought in replacement workers to fill in during the strike.
We're all out here when we'd rather all be in there. But we also know that this is important for, getting a good contract and getting a settlement.
We put comprehensive packages, proposals on the table for all 6 hospitals. Unfortunately, rather than responding to those proposals, ONA gave us a strike notice. So we don't know where they stand.
All right, so the strike started yesterday, today, and runs through tomorrow. It ends tomorrow, but here's the thing. The contract for the replacement workers runs through Sunday. So these nurses may have to wait a few more days before they can get back to work. Back to you.
Devin, thank you.
Command to dispatch. If you got ODOT handy, we got propane tanks exploding. They're going over onto the other side of the freeway. We need that freeway closed now.
A story that completely took over our morning newscast yesterday. An intense scene that shut down I-5 yesterday morning in both directions. The cause? A trailer carrying propane tanks engulfed in flames, exploding canisters shooting across a freeway, traffic backed up for miles. After 12 hours and a quick repair job by ODOT, I-5 completely reopened around 5 o'clock last night. This is what traffic looks like this morning. Completely different scene than what we saw at 6:05 yesterday. Again, this is a live look from our ODOT cam on I-5 at Going. So the investigation into what happened yesterday, that continues with a lot of unanswered questions this morning, because when first responders and firefighters got to the scene yesterday just before 5 a.m., there was no tractor or truck attached to the trailer carrying those propane tanks. So whoever left the trailer on the freeway still hasn't been found, and it's still not clear what caused the tanks to start exploding in the first place.
Our next story this morning comes from the Dalles, where police shot and killed a man who they say stole a tow truck and rammed into a patrol car. Officers say they first spotted the tow truck dragging a cable in that Home Depot parking lot, but when they attempted to stop the driver, they say he took off. After a short chase, police say the suspect rammed into a patrol car and then tried to run into other police vehicles. That's when authorities say 2 Wasco County Sheriff's deputies and a Dalles police officer opened fire.
The officers on scene feared for their safety and the safety of their colleagues on scene and made the decision to fire.
The man was taken to the hospital where he later died. The officers who fired those shots are now on paid leave while the shooting remains under investigation.
And this morning, Travel Portland is on the hunt for a new leader. This after the nonprofit's president and CEO Jeff Miller announced his retirement yesterday. He'll stay on until December. Miller led the nonprofit for 19 years.
The city of Tigard lifted its boil water notice after testing on Tuesday showed that the city's tap water is once again safe to drink. The notice came out on Monday for certain parts of Tigard after a problem at the city's pump station caused potentially harmful bacteria to enter some of its water lines.
And the Portland Pickles are making history. They became the first sports team to legally sell cannabis-infused drinks during a live sporting event. So now you'll see Cycling Frog seltzers for the rest of the 2024 season.
This is huge.
Cycling Frog is a cannabis company that uses hemp grown in Central Oregon.
How high up in our newscast should that have been, Rod?
Oh my goodness.
Pretty high.
Those darn pickles.
Children.
Always making some headlines off the field. Let's talk about what's happening at Cook Park in Tigard this weekend. It is the annual Festival of Balloons in Tigard. It runs Friday through Sunday. This year, the event celebrates 40 years of hot air balloons being launched into the sky. They have morning launches just after sunrise. There are night glows on Friday night and Saturday night, and you also have a chance to ride in one of those balloons with a tethered flight throughout the weekend. You do have to get your tickets in advance. You can find them at tigardballoon.org. There's Jerry again, Jerry the Mouse of Tom and Jerry fame. We're going to be live at Cook Park Friday morning during the sunrise show. The plan is to have me out there from 5 to 7 a.m.
It'll be clear skies. If you're planning on going, of course, the balloon's going up, somewhat weather dependent. Winds are always a big story. I would think Friday was going to be perfect. I would think there's a good chance that Saturday weather's good. For your planning purposes, Sunday could be the morning where the winds are too great or the cloud deck is low or that type of thing.
I mean, it's probably the most weather-dependent event in our area each year because if the conditions are right, they can't fly the balloons.
Sure.
And then you don't have an event.
But Friday looks perfect. And again, a good chance for I would plan to go Friday or Saturday if I could. And think, well, Sunday's the iffy day.
Okay.
All right, outside right now, I do want to take you to the Gulf of Mexico. Could be, expected to be, later today, the very first named tropical storm of the Atlantic Basin this hurricane season. Of course, hurricane season began June 1st, runs through November 30th. The center of the storm is this clump of clouds right down in here, which will be going into Mexico, but they're getting heavy rain bands up into Texas. So if this is classified as a tropical storm later today, it would become Tropical Storm Alberto, first named storm of the year, of course, starting with A. The rains up in South Texas, they're getting some storminess, but very beneficial. Remember, our tropical systems in parts of the South very important rain makers in terms of climate. All right, we've got some thunderstorms from Kansas down through the Texas Panhandle, but if you're traveling, most of the country is storm-free, and I would think weather-wise, the airline route should be in pretty good shape today. We have clear skies over all of Oregon and Washington, so if you're driving this morning, that's all you're going to see is clear blue skies. Here's the Central Coast, Newport, our Uquinna Bay live camera, just absolutely perfect picture day. Here's Timberline, got some people, yeah, they're open. They've got their Palmer snow lift and the summer season going. You see them carrying the skis there. It's 46 degrees. Sometimes I talk about the fact that the mountain is a great place to look to see the transition of air masses. So yesterday we made a big deal of finally it's back to dry, it's sunny. Then today's the big warm-up day. So Timberline is as warm 46, or matches the temperature, I should say, as parts of the Willamette Valley. So that's a good sign that the batch of air is warming, and you will notice that this afternoon as you're out and about. There's the rising sun from the Wells Fargo camera. Portland's setting at 54, but it's mid-40s in Kelso, about the same as Timberline to my point. Astoria's 45, Salem's 50, it's 41 over in Bend. No weather issues today. There could be a scattered shower later on over the Blue Mountains out east, that's it. Sunshine, Salem all the way to 87. Yesterday we were in the 70s. So yeah, here comes the warm-up for this final day of spring. Mid-80s in Battleground and Vancouver. I've got Portland all the way up to 86. Yesterday it was 74. We keep warming the next couple days. Tomorrow, the first day of summer. The solstice is in the afternoon at 1:50, 90, 92 Friday. Not as warm Saturday, and then there's that Festival of Balloons concern in terms of balloon weather. Sunday could be some breezy west winds, maybe a trace of some moisture around with clouds. Sunday's high 73, and that is your update.